From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.
What's going on, nerds, and welcome to kind of a special episode. Yesterday was, what was it? It was Disney Day, September 8th.
Disney Plus Day.
Well, you guys are going to see this early Saturday morning. We're recording this Friday night after we just did one of our Nerdtober episodes recording. But yeah, I'm AJ, that's Susie. We're talking about the Pinocchio up there. Susie made some questions, but we're going to talk about the elephant in the room right now. And,
It really is an elephant. He froze it. He froze it.
I've been drinking. Hold on. She did this!
It's a good night. What do you want from me?
It's a very good night. Well, at least for you. Me, found out not to put that in the freezer because that will freeze and mess up the alcohol. I thought you were about to pet me on the head. I was like, what are you doing?
Gosh, she's too short for that.
That's Paul? He's in the peanut gallery area?
I just proved a point.
To my expense, yes. But you made questions.
I did make questions.
I watched this yesterday. I think you finished it today.
I finished it this morning.
So, let's go into it. I'll let you read if you can actually see it.
I can see it.
Okay.
So my first question is, which version do you prefer?
Hurry.
I'll fight you. Which version do you prefer, the animated or the live
Hey, I
action?
opened it.
I'm so proud of you for opening that.
Shut up. We're not going to talk about it. I actually really like this live action version. Like, I really like the live action. The classic is a classic, but really going into this, knowing it's just Pinocchio and it's Disney making a Pinocchio movie, really didn't have high expectations, and I came out really liking it. What about you?
Which actually surprised me about. I prefer this over the animated. This one had a lot more story filled out. I don't like the ending, but we'll get to the end. But I definitely, I'm just here for AJ making faces.
Tastes like rubbing alcohol now.
How do you know what rubbing alcohol tastes
For a conversation I would not get into on the internet.
like?
Next question. Please.
Thoughts on Monstro?
What kind of beast was... Okay, in the original, Monstro was a whale, correct?
Correct.
What the living actual fuck was this?
You know what? I don't know.
Because he was like
But
half whale, half octopus,
Yeah, well,
big sea monster.
So, Geppetto calls it a whale. Pinocchio accurately calls it a monster.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's the best description. I mean, we are in an animated universe where boys turn into donkeys. So...
I've been an ass my whole life.
Yeah, where's your ears?
Not Tuesday.
It only comes around on Taco Tuesday?
We have tacos on Tuesday?
Well, yes, Taco Tuesday.
Oh, well.
Do you not have tacos in your Tuesdays?
No, we have Italian.
That sounds...
Good. But back to Pinocchio, because we're both kind of,
Dude, I'm not the one in that.
Shut the fuck up. I already asked you.
Did you like the small changes in the story?
I did. I do love the seagull, don't get me wrong. But I also loved the Stromboli assistant.
Oh.
I loved her, and Sophia.
Yeah, I danced for so long in my life.
You're the first person I thought of.
And that, like, to see that representation, to see, the disability representation, like, that just hit way too close to home for me when I was watching this. And I've been trying to watch it for, like, 2 days. So I started it yesterday, I finished it this morning. And that's my favorite character. Like,
Really?
hands down, yeah.
Sophia or the girl?
The girl.
I can't remember her name.
I can't off the top of my head either, but I know that one of our questions is actually
Bless you,
character.
sir.
But she would rank very high up on my character list. But for me, I like so I was watching the original Pinocchio. I didn't get very far. Now, of course, heaven forbid I'd be allowed to watch anything.
Make sure you don't do it at the pumps.
I don't do it. I'm not that dumb. So I like starting the movie. I'm watching the live action. I'm like, oh my god, this is so different from the animated. And most of my friends know that I have like a great reluctance to watch the animated. I don't know why. It always rubs me the wrong way. But I will definitely have to I will be able to rewatch the live action because it just filled story gaps that I thought were missing before.
I also love Tom Hanks' Geppetto.
Oh, Tom Hanks was my
absolutely.
Geppetto. Tom Hanks was
heartwarming, and I don't think it's on here. Okay, it's not on here. How about some of those cuckoo clocks kind of going Disney throwbacks there?
No, because I just messaged it to you. I didn't include it in the questions. So one of my favorite. As I'm watching it, was I messaging you this morning about it? Yeah. So this morning, I'm like, oh my god, all the cuckoo clocks. And I saw Lion King. He saw Toy Story. I saw Snow White.
Well, the Toy Story one pops out because it was Bullseye and a cowboy. And who played Woody?
I didn't. Yeah, I missed that one, but I definitely saw the Snow White, and I saw different ones. And I was like, oh my god, this is awesome! It's a great throwback. Even though Pinocchio, technically, like the original Pinocchio, came out way before all these other. Well, except for Snow White, way before all the other movies. It came out before. It came out after Snow White, but before everything else.
Really, it was number 2.
Yeah. Well, I wouldn't say it's number 2, but it came out before Lion King. It came out before.
This came
Toy
out
Story.
while Walt was still alive.
Yeah. I think it was one of the last movies.
Where are we gonna go next?
Favorite part?
Honestly, my favorite part was the minute they meet the Coachman, who was played by Luke Evans. And at first, I couldn't put a face to it, but I'm like, I've heard this voice before.
So I'm watching this. I have to look it up on my TV, and I'm sitting there. And oh my god, this is amazing. This is a role specifically for him. Like there's no if it's like you can hear subtle hints of Gaston in there.
And that's where it clicked into my head.
Yeah, but you can hear the subtle hints of Gaston. I also think there's more songs in this movie than there were in the original.
Yes.
And I like that a lot because it really made it divide from the original. And that always to me, like that hits a little closer to home because it means that you took the time to really think about the story and figure out ways to improve the story rather than just take the story and slap it into a live action. Mm-hmm. Did you have any? I mean, my favorite part, I think, honestly, Pleasure Island, the whole of Pleasure Island.
Yeah, that's kind of where I was gonna go at.
Yeah.
From where you meet Luke Evans, and he takes you pretty much on the ride.
Yeah, I think my favorite part was definitely Pleasure Island. I'd love that to be a ride.
1940.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean, don't I look old? I'm not, but I look old.
I think right now you look younger than me. Even with your bald head. Stop hiding your. No, you're not turtling up for the turtle.
That's such a good movie. I don't know if I got so much.
Who's your favorite character?
Jim.
We already just my favorite character as you die.
I don't know what that was.
I'm the one taking a sip out of a cup, and you're the one who died.
The macup? Okay, all right.
When I tell you that I've had almost a full bottle of wine, I've had almost a full bottle of wine.
My favorite
Which
character
is a
was
little unusual for me.
actually Jiminy Cricket.
I love how they did Jiminy Cricket.
I thought Joseph Gordon-Levitt was phenomenal.
Okay, I have one more part, actually, that I like that they did better in this one than the original. So, in the original, they Pinocchio gets captured by Stromboli, and he's put in a and Jiminy Cricket tries to let him fails. So the Blue Fairy comes and lets them out, and that's when we discover, lying nose grows.
How smart Pinocchio is to keep lying.
How smart Pinocchio. In this one, Pinocchio's smart enough to keep lying, and not my favorite character, but I will say that he is the character that you actually get to see growth in.
Yes.
Because you see, by the time he gets to Pleasure Island, he's starting to develop his own conscience.
So,
and I was saying it the whole time I was at work. I was like, he has a conscience.
That's,
Jiminy Cricket's not there. He has a conscience.
That scene where he does the lying to get the key, all I did was think about Shrek. Tell us a lie. I'm not wearing ladies' underwear?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. But definitely, like, I like this better because they didn't rely on the Blue Fairy.
As I saw Paul crack a smile when I said that. Did you picture the movie?
No.
Oh, okay.
I just imagine you saying that.
I have nothing that I have no importance with.
But I mean, my favorite character is clearly the I can't think of her name, ballerina.
The ballerina.
She's a ballerina too.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the puppet.
The puppeteer is also a ballerina because if you look at her, so she has like a leg brace on. If you look in her leg brace, she's wearing a point shoe.
No, I know. I noticed. Because when Pinocchio first actually sees her after she helps him, she's dancing.
Yeah. So, like, she would be my favorite character, but like for me, Pinocchio is the one that I saw. Like, you could actually see his growth. And I feel like the original, you saw it, but it wasn't as clear.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, this was clear as day, like, smack you in the face, like...
Please don't.
Here it is. No, I'd be liable to miss.
What would you hit?
The microphone, probably.
This was expensive.
I'm just... Which would you rather pay for? Like,
neither. They were about the same.
That's where we're at right now.
So next question, overall view of the story.
So this is original Pinocchio story, but I like this a lot better than I like the animated. And I go back to the animated, like the best comparison. And I've read a couple of Pinocchio stories, and a couple shows that I've watched. Once Upon a Time being one of.
Oh wow! I forgot about Pinocchio.
Yeah,
Once Upon a Time.
Pinocchio was Once Upon a Time.
The biker.
One of the comic series that I read, Fables, he was a part of that. He was a huge part of that. Geppetto was the villain in that. So I like this take on Pinocchio. I like the fact that you grow up and become a real boy.
Yeah.
Even though he's still a wooden puppet, and I love that. I love that real boys are not defined by whether they're flesh or not.
In the animated, did he actually turn into a real boy?
I believe so. Yeah, he did.
So they stop it the minute they pretty much are safe from Monstro here.
Yeah.
Do you think it was better for them to stop it where they did now, or would you have rather have seen Pinocchio become the real boy, or did you like what Jiminy Cricket said?
So my only issue with the end of this movie is that they walk to the blue light and then we don't see them return home. And that was the big thing that I wanted to see, was them return home. For me, it wasn't about Pinocchio turning, it was them getting home safely. I like the fact that he stayed in Wooden Boy. Blue Fairy said if he's truthful,
And he does feel like a real boy.
He does feel like a real boy, and that to me, that's fine. Like, Geppetto even was like, you are a real boy, whether you're wooden or not.
I just hope he can go to school.
But they just walked to the light. And I just, it would have been nice if they walked to the light in the cave and it was a portal and they were outside their home. Where the Blue Fairy came down and, like, teleported them to
That's
their
who
home.
I thought it was. That's who I thought was going to end up walking out.
I thought the blue light was the Blue Fairy, but, like, they ended
the
it
Blue
so
Fairy.
soon. And, yeah, Jiminy Cricket, answered some of that. But, like, I don't know. I just needed the resolution that they were home and not walking to the cave with a light, because if anybody's watched any movie ever, that could end any ways. So I particularly that I didn't get.
So one of the big changes in this movie, outside of it being live action, were some of the character changes.
Yes.
You had Keegan Michael Key play Honest John,
Yes.
and you had Cynthia Erviro play the Blue Fairy.
Right.
So we knew Tom Hanks was going to be Geppetto.
Right.
We knew Joseph Gordon-Levitt was going to be
Jiminy
Cricket. The first time we see Cynthia be the Blue Fairy is no talking, just a quick glance of her with the wand right on Pinocchio in the trailer. Now that we've actually seen her character, you know, like her song, her character actually bring Pinocchio to life.
I was gonna say, because we actually saw her character. We saw a little bit of her character.
We did, but we
trailer.
didn't hear her. She didn't sing, and she sang.
Oh,
What are your thoughts of her version of When You Wish Upon a Star? Because I thought it was phenomenal, and it went right into my Disney playlist.
I can't listen to it.
Interesting. Miss Disney?
So, it's weird. First time I went to Disney, and I listened to Wish Upon a Star growing up my whole life.
Mm-hmm.
I love the song. It's not a matter of not listening. I went to Disney the first time, left Magic Kingdom. Wish Upon a Star came on, and I realized that I was leaving.
Oh.
And I can't listen to Wish Upon a Star the same way. And I love her version because it's deep, original enough that I can listen to it on repeat.
Mm-hmm.
And
it went right into my Disney playlist.
It's amazing. I love her singing. Definitely need more. Please. You know what I would love to see? Everyone knew that it was the Blue Fairy. I was excited about the Blue Fairy. I'd either love to see an origin story with the Blue Fairy or something with Geppetto meeting the Blue Fairy.
For some reason, I feel like that would go into like a Pixie Hollow kind of. I don't know why.
I mean, it's possible, but I doubt it. But I just wonder, like, sometimes, like, what Geppetto's life was like that he earned that much regard with the Blue Fairy.
It's not even that. What he was talking about as he was carving Pinocchio, it sounded like he lost his wife and son.
So that was the big thing that really caught my eye in this movie, that they had changed. I had already gotten past this point in the animated, and it was like he was just creating a boy. Like I just want to create a boy, you know. Let's create a puppet.
Now it sounded like it gave him a reason.
It gave him a reason. Built it in memory of the child.
Yeah.
Because if you watch him, he'll say goodnight to Pinocchio, and then he'll walk over to the portrait and tell the portrait goodnight. We never see the picture, but it's another level of depth to Geppetto that we didn't have before. And I think that's because I was thinking about it while I was watching the movie. I was like, I would love to see how the Geppetto got that much regard from the Blue Fairy. Because the Blue Fairy was just instantly willing to grab his wish. You
don't think it had anything to do with him wishing on that star?
Well, it absolutely had to do with wishing on a star, but, like, she's not going to grant every wish that comes across her path. They have to be, like, pure of heart. They have to, like, have earned it. Because even she was saying something similar to that. But, like, the portrait, that's what caught my eye. And now I want a backstory. I want to know what happened. And I don't have to know what happened. Like, I'm not saying they have to make a Geppetto movie.
In 5 years, it's just going to be Geppetto.
I mean, that to me would be interesting and heartwarming. And Tom Hanks would have to come back as Geppetto.
I can't picture anybody else as it now.
Nope. Not happening.
But was there anything that bothered you with this story?
I actually put this question in for
me.
Yes. Based on something that you and I had talked about in the trailers.
What did we talk about the trailers? You're going to have to refresh me.
Pinocchio.
It took a little while to get used to.
Pinocchio.
Because he looks exactly like his animated counterpart. Which I could see why they did it now. Because he stands out.
Right. So the other thing that I particularly bothered me was clearly he's animated. Clearly he's CGI. And because I am a curious person, Geppetto lifts Pinocchio and puts him in. How? How did you accomplish that with CGI? Like, what did he pick up to put in the boat?
Probably a green sandbag.
Yeah, but I'm that person that's like, I need behind the scenes because that's just the kind of person I am. I like this Pinocchio better than the animated. Like, I like the style of this Pinocchio
Same as me.
better than the animated. And it took a little bit to get used to because of the way they designed him. But this Pinocchio is more puppety. But you ever own a marionette?
No.
Okay, so a marionette made of wood is very smooth. It's very lifelike. It's very, they try to get as close to a natural look as possible. And that's what Pinocchio reminded me of, except for the eyes, which are cartoon. But I mean, once you get past Pinocchio look,
He looks just like he should in an animated version,
Exactly.
but it's like he's in the live action version.
yeah. So like I said, the only thing that bothers me about him is his eyes. Like, his eyes are like way too bleh, like he's gonna perform on stage.
Like the Japanese anime eyes.
Yes, actually, that's a pretty good.
All right, everybody. Well, come check us out Tuesday for our Boys Season 3 episode, which you probably haven't even started watching yet.
Nope.
I have like 2 episodes left, so I'll be ready.
I'll be ready by Tuesday.
I refuse.
It's
We didn't invite you.
I refuse.
yeah.
Okay,
And-
well, we still didn't invite you.
And then
I refuse to be invited.
Wednesday will be our House of Dragons episode 4 review. So come check us out. We have a lot of stuff actually coming out regularly now, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
We're moving up the ladder, people. But I don't know how
You
that
trust me on a ladder?
No,
Okay, then. Can I get off?
he probably should.
Yeah.
Probably should. All right, everybody. See you later.
Bye.
From Mordor to Hogwarts to Gotham, the nerds have come together to create a show for nerds by nerds. Join nerds doing nerd things as they talk about all things nerdy. Stay up to date on the show by liking the Nerds Doing Nerd Things Facebook page.